Hey friends, IRENE LYON here. In this short video today, I'm answering the question, what is the difference between a Kundalini awakening and someone coming out of a freeze response? So the freeze response of the autonomic nervous system. Check it out.
Next question is about Kundalini awakening. So this person asks, is there a difference between Kundalini awakening and the nervous system defrosting? Are they one of the same? So no, they are not. From a definitive purpose, and this isn't like from a dictionary, but the Kundalini energy starts at the base of the spine. It's kind of that root. It's where that sexual energy, where our foundation is. And when that energy is present, there's a lot of energy. It's big energy. It's strong energy. It's life force energy, but it's very specific sexual energy. And when I say sexual, I don't necessarily, it isn't about the sexual act. It's about just this very creative, powerful, expressive, intimate energy, perhaps with us, ourselves, and the universe, or it can be with someone else, but it's usually more individual, and it's about our own personal power at that root level. And so that's that. Nervous system defrosting, which is a great term, it would be this ability to come out of a freeze response. I did another video Q&A on that quite a few years ago. We'll pop that up. Nervous system defrosting is when we've been in a freeze state, a biological freeze state, which is a part of our parasympathetic that puts us into what's called dorsal shutdown. I did another video on the Polyvagal theory that explains that, and a lot of my other videos explain this. When we are defrosting, we are reawakening not just that base of the spine, all of us, all of our cells, all of our organs, all of our tissues, our movements, our ability to see the environment. So someone who's classically in a shutdown state, and some of the things that connect that, just to give you guys who may be new here an idea, being in a shutdown state for more than a minute or more than a few moments because of an accident, let's say, but living a life chronically in freeze, which is why many of you might be here, it leads to, and we know this through the research, chronic illness, mental illness, relational problems, the inability to move forward in life, to make smart decisions, to know how to assess safety and danger. It really puts us into a bind. And it's because we're biologically numbed out to ourselves and the environment. So our intuition is absolutely shot. And so when we are defrosting and awakening the nervous system and the shutdown response by practices that help to invigorate and stimulate and wake up the system in a slow and titrated way, very important, slow and titrated way. This is what we teach in my program, specifically Smart Body, Smart Mind. The entire system kind of starts to sparkle. And people will even say, wow, I just felt like this shimmer through my body, or I just felt this cooling sensation through my legs, or all of a sudden felt this flush of heat when I saw something really cool on the internet that made me happy. Whereas someone might have before said, I see these things, I have these experiences, and I feel nothing. So this is one example of how we start to come out of freeze. It is very different than Kundalini awakening. That's very specific. Now, there are some dangers to Kundalini awakening when it has not been properly set up. And kind of like I was talking about before in that first question around cathartic practices, is if our system is not ready for that awakening energy, which is very biological, but it's also very energetic. I might even say it's very spiritual, it's universal, it's tapped into a big force field. Think of Star Wars. It's like this big kick of energy. It's that root, right? That root energy. If we haven't done the foundations, if we haven't built our nervous system foundations, I always use the example of a house, how you need to, if you think about it, if you were to build a house and not have a frame, and you were to just throw all the furniture on the house would crumble. And so if we think of the system, the human system, if we put in too much energy before the system can foundationally handle that energy, the system will crumble, or it will freak out, or it will break apart. And my colleagues and I have definitely worked with folks who have gone to various retreats or done work on themselves where somewhere along the lines they were told, you got to awaken your Kundalini, you got to awaken this, this, this. And they do it because their intention is strong, because as human beings, our intentionality is a powerful instrument. And so if we're asking the universe to give us this awakening and it happens and we're not ready, it can lead to not good things. And it's kind of like, we've worked with some people who've taken various forms of psychedelics and their system wasn't ready for what was going to come through. And I don't mean in a recreational way, I mean as a medicine, which is becoming very popular right now with microdosing and ayahuasca and MDMA and all these drugs and plant medicines that are helping kickstart the system. If you try to kickstart the system and the system doesn't know how to drive at that fifth or sixth gear, it'll crash. It's like trying to put a new driver into a Ferrari and giving them the it's like, okay, drive this, see if you can figure that out. It'll be a disaster, right? Because driving something like a Ferrari takes skill, it takes practice, it's got a lot of power, and the nervous system and the universal energy has a lot of power.
All right, thank you so much for watching this short video. If you'd like to watch the long form Q&A that happened on September 25th, 2019, I'm going to pop that on the next screen. Take care, and we will see you next time.